Welcome to this edition of ArcMan's Cob Shop. Tonight we've got a special edition. We usually work with stainless steel, aluminum, and iron, but tonight we're going to do a special presentation on plastic and wood. We don't usually work with these materials, but tonight is an exception. As you well know, opening season in Michigan for firearm deer season is next week, November 15th, and in preparation for opening season, we're going to upgrade our previously used privy. This is the carpeted model. It has a very small hole. Sometimes when you use it, things kind of fly out the end. So we're going to make some upgrades here, get a little more comfortable, and we'll show you how that project works. And stay tuned, and we'll bring you the project here in a couple of minutes. For tonight's episode of the upgrade to the old privy, we got a choice of buckets, various colors, brands, wherever they came from, doesn't really matter. Just pick the one of your choice, the one you like the best. We're going to need a brand new bucket, makes things nice and easy to clean and work with. We're going to need a piece of wood. My personal choice for home cob projects is cutting board material. This is polypropylene. You can buy it at any dollar type store. It's cheap, it's fun to work with, really easy to drill and machine, lasts a little bit longer, but I can tell you right now that if you decide to go with the wood product, there is a certain company that culls their lumber every day of the week. Happens to be, I don't know, the Blue Bucket. Anyway, they have good quality stuff. They cull their lumber every day of the week. You want a straight board, that's where you need to go. For this project, I'm actually going to use, because I want it to last a long time, just like things that I drive, last a long time, good quality stuff. I'm going to use the cutting board material. Won't rust, won't rot, and it actually is fun to work with, and it's inexpensive. Next thing you're going to need for this project is a high quality seat. Now we chose this particular model. It's made out of recycled wood in case you accidentally leave it behind in the woods. Now the only thing we're not quite sure about how well this is going to hold up, it says it's molded wood, and I'm not quite sure what this really means. It says asinto di indoro. I'm only assuming that means ass indoors, or indoors only ass into, but anyway, the point is that you put your ass in it and it probably works just fine. So now, one thing to keep in mind with this particular model that we found out the hard way is you really do get what you pay for. This particular seat, the Asindoro, it was on sale for $5.95, and lo and behold, it didn't come with any mounting hardware. So I had to upgrade this unit to some, I don't know, grade 5 bolts. It probably should have came with plastic ones, but it didn't. So just buyer beware, you get what you pay for. You buy a $5.95 toilet seat, it's probably $7.95 for a hardware kit. You got to go back to the store, get a few more things, a pipe wrench, whatever. So in a couple of minutes, we're going to go ahead and pick out the pieces we want, and we're going to put this thing together. Okay, so let's get started. Let's make a bucket selection here. We've got this particular one, this one here, and this blue one. I don't know how it is in your state for Michigan law or Michigan law, but I don't think there's any Michigan law that says anything about certain colors of buckets for a shitter in the woods. So deer hunting season, but I got my own opinions about this, and I particularly like the orange bucket because in Michigan we have to wear hunter's orange for firearm deer season, and I'm thinking this is probably a really, really good color at night, depending on how you camp. If you're camping in a tent or a camper or whatever, if you need to go outside and do your thing. This is going to be easier to see, and it kind of matches the whole hunter orange theme, and it's got some visibility. It's going to be easier to find at night. Might not even need a flashlight. Hell, I mean, blue bucket's going to not show up, and quite honestly, where this bucket came from, I don't mind taking the shit in this thing because I'm just going to throw it away when I'm done. I mean, normally you know, we would recommend putting a liner in it, like this. In fact, let me move this out of the way because that's too good of a bucket to waste. Probably that's too good of a bucket to waste. But normally we would recommend putting a liner in it so that once you build your privy, you know, once a day or twice a day, you can just kind of wrap this thing up and take it out and, you know, bury it or whatever. Just try to make sure you use a biodegradable bag because the DNR really likes that. But you know what, for this bucket, hell, I'm just going to shit in it and I'm going to throw it over and done because I don't really care where it came from or whatever. So that's it. You know, we'll start building the bucket here. Okay, so let's start the build process. We've picked out the bucket we're going to use. We have a Asindo indoor toilet seat recycled wood that we talked about earlier. Who knows how it's going to hold up in the weather, but you know, we'll see. You know, whatever it is. Just buy a cheap one. Just make sure you get the hardware because, like I said, $5.95 toilet seat, $7.95 hardware. You're up to $15 or however that math works out. So anyway, so basically the concept is this: you pick out your bucket. And I cheated a little bit to make this video go a little bit quicker. Make sure you have the handle in the front. You're going to place the bucket and the toilet seat together. Make sure everything's lined up. Now, we already made a decision on our choice of materials. We could use wood. It's okay, but I'm still a firm believer in the whole plastics world for some stuff. I like to build stuff that's robust, just like my vehicles, and they last a long time, and you really never have to mess around with it again as long as you do proper maintenance. So, I talked about the cutting board material. $6, $7 at the dollar type store. I already made a template. You want to trace around the bucket and make a template. And this is going to be our mounting point for the seat. So I've already drew this and cut it out. This is going to fit on our bucket just like this, and we're going to mount the toilet seat right here, and this will serve as a flip-up point and give us some strong material to mount things to, and we'll talk about the tools here in just a couple minutes. Okay, so we picked out the bucket we're going to use. I've got a piece already cut, cutting board material. I've already contoured this to the shape of the bucket, measured things out to make sure that the toilet seat's going to line up properly back here on these mounting holes. So at this point, the only thing we need is some basic hand tools. I've got my drill set here. I've got a couple of nuts and bolts because there was no hardware with the seat. And all I need is a power, you know, like a cordless drill to get things moving here. So let me grab, I forgot my cordless drill, let me grab that and we'll get started. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do, I've already drilled some pilot holes in here, and we're going to rough attach this. Depending on your diet, you know, you can use stainless steel screws here, it doesn't really matter. We're going to attach this to our bucket as best we can. Just make sure that, because of how this is designed, that this piece is square to how the handle flips up for an additional feature later down the road. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to attach this using our power drill. Oh, I forgot this one needs batteries. We'll just leave that one in here if it doesn't work. Let me grab one that does work. So take your power drill, and we're going to attach this in 3 points. Just give you an idea how it works. We're not going to worry about the third screw right now because I just want to get this done so you guys have an understanding how this is going to work out. Next thing we're going to do is take our seat, place it on top of our template here. I'm going to use the grade 5 bolts that weren't included in my seat kit, and just basically attach these to the bottom of the plate. 2 places. You flip this cover closed gives a kind of nice clean appearance. And there you have it. I mean, basically you got you know, an outdoor privy, and you can flip the seat up. I'm not sure why you'd want to sit on that part, but the other added benefit to this whole thing we'll talk about in a couple minutes for the ladies. All right, well, this kind of concludes this episode of ArcMan's Cop Shop. We've got the our newfangled privy here. Hopefully this is a little bit waterproof. You probably could have opted for a cushion seat, something a little more rustic, but you know, this was cheap. And for the ladies, this is something you guys always want at home. I thought we'd add it to this model. As long as you keep the handle squared up with the back of the mounting bracket, we can mark this. I like to put a little pink tape on it here just so ladies know what it's for. And guys, if you got a woman that hunts, this is something she'll appreciate. Put a little pink handle on here. You can bend this around and stretch this up, and I call this the lid lock. Okay? No more did he put the seat down. She gets up in the middle of the night, the lid lock's turned down, she can sit down and do her thing, and she doesn't have to worry about falling in the bucket. So that concludes our episode, and we really hope you'll stay tuned for the next version of ArcMan's Cop Shop. Thank you.